I began my work with the Urbana Park District in 1992 as their newly hired planner for the Park District. It's been terrific. I've really enjoyed that long career. For me, landscape architecture really was the perfect combination of humans, human nature, and our environment around us, that built environment. So for me, it was really just that compelling interest in how do we make a better world? How do we create livable working spaces that people want to come to, that they enjoy coming to, and that can serve a variety of purposes for nature, food cultivation, enjoyment, improving our local environment, providing shade with trees and vegetation. So for me, combining those things, the interest in design and in planning, I was just fascinated and continued to learn, how can we apply that? And so for me, it's been very rewarding to see our parks develop over time, new parks come into play, and certainly some of our older parks get reborn and have a new vision. Crystal Lake Park is our oldest, largest park in the district. We had an opportunity to update that long-term master plan to create more modern, vibrant spaces for people and today's needs and interests. So we were able to sort of restore and save all the beautiful things like the historic elements, beautiful trees, the lake itself, and then augment new places and areas around the lake house and new trails and new playgrounds. And then a place like Meadowbrook Park, which when I started in 1992 was essentially a cornfield area. The community was growing. There was growing interest in how do we get Meadowbrook Park going. And one of the first things that happened was a new trail program that was started with the federal government. And we developed the large, long loop. And before you know it, in a few years, about 5 years, we had a fairly comprehensive trail network. So the now famous Prairie Play was established and built and opened in 1996. So we had these rapid successions of really exciting, people attracting places here in Urbana to share with the community. One of the exciting things that I think was an outcome of our focus on arts and culture in Urbana that really paralleled our You Belong Here approach was creating an arts and culture matrix. And the idea behind that is forming a small group of leadership staff to tackle big issues. And what we found is that the matrix, driven by the staff, generating staff ideas, coming from the people they interact with and work most closely with, really just brought new opportunities to our district. One of my inspirations really came from getting to know and working primarily with artists of all types, particularly sculptors, in that they typically end up with a physical 3D object and it needs to be placed somewhere. So one of the key things I really focused on was how to get to know and what motivates the artist. Why do they need to create art? And what I found was it really parallels our own human interest in wanting to see and receive and be a part of that art experience. And then we continued that with finding more ways, and this is a direct example of the art and culture matrix, to start other programs to get maybe newer artists or artists newer to the fields. And the Great Outdoors program was an example where we could offer local artists an opportunity to display something for a season in the parks to get them some recognition, some experience. And what we found is our residents were just as excited about that kind of art as they were maybe a premier artist that might have had art around the world. So it's really a testament to the community. If you have great ideas, you can find ways to share them and get other people excited and connected. You'll see amazing things like Meadowbrook Park and our other parks in Urbana happen. I always said it was a perfect fit for a landscape architect to really work in a park district because it really incorporates so many commonalities, things like nature and culture and art, history, and just learning and incorporating all the people that live in your community. So the programming, the events really just start to shape what I did. And from that, I could really see opportunities really throughout the park district, in our landscapes, in our natural areas, to really incorporate art in as many different ways as I could.